Much love. Highest of vibes to all those out there. It's your boy Dame. You can share this to a couple of my people, a couple of my comrades. Before we dive in, subscribe to Dame's World if you haven't. If you have, then you know what's up. Low Deluxe, man, you know what's up. You feel me? We got content that ranges from eye tests to bar breakdowns to just open discussion like this one. Even though it's geared in the realm of hoops, basketball. Y'all know I'm a avid fan of the game of basketball. And I gotta make that distinction. The game of basketball, I love. You feel me? I could go out there and watch teams play at the park and appreciate just the essence of the game. You feel me? I make that distinction because NBA season is starting. And of course, you feel me, have monopolized the greatest player. So the best form of basketball in which you're able to see likely would come from that league. However, they don't operate on the scrupulous level in which makes me want to support them. Neither does any of these big entities in the sports realm or just big entities, period. There's a moral compass uh, that most corporations have shifted to where things like freedom to choose, freedom to speak how you feel, how you think and feel, freedom to move and navigate in the way in which you want to navigate. NBA, NFL, your workforce system in which you might be growing up in, the education system, they're being clear cut on marginalizing voice. So while the season is coming up, you feel me, which probably should be a phenomenal season, you feel me? You got Brooklyn at the apex, and then you got LA refining, getting mellow, getting rust. You got a lot of exciting things to look out for. I looked at the Chicago Bulls and I even seen some talent. I'm like, hey man, hey, people coming up in the world. So nonetheless, I'm not gonna denounce that this season might be a good season for y'all to watch, to be entertained by. But there's more things to be addressed. For one, you gotta ask yourself this every day. Every day you wake up, you gotta ask yourself this. What do you stand for? What do you stand for? You really have to ask yourself that, because if you know what you stand for, then as a consequence, you can know how to move and you can know how to act. Be it that you've set grounds, a moral premise as to who you are and how you are to navigate in this world. Reason why I ask that is because I see some people ridiculing Kyrie, telling Kyrie, just get the jab. He's an idiot. He's such an idiot. Flat earther. All the rhetoric that the media has employed to denounce his logic, denounce his thought process, denounce him as a human being. I've heard selfish. I've heard stupid. I've heard bird brain from Kendrick Perkins. And might I add you, I don't think Kendrick Perkins is the most intellectual being in the planet to be calling anyone a bird brain, but that's neither here nor there. I wouldn't subjugate him to insults in the way he did to Kyrie, but you seeing all these things for somebody who's formulated an opinion with their own deduction. We could talk about flat Earth, for example. He's wacky for believing this, according to most of you people out there. most, if not all of you people out there haven't conducted much of any studies to deduce the shape of this world. Now, that's not Dame sitting up here saying the world is for sure flat. I'm certain. This is Dame telling you I don't know shit. But what I'm told and what I see, I got sensibility. And then from that sensibility, I can use deduction. From where I sat in this life, in a classroom that taught me what's what, that's the only way I was able to deduce the roundness or the flatness of the earth. You got satellite images. Dare I dare I question if those images are legit from this third party seat in which I rest in. So this ain't me saying nothing about what shape the earth is. This is me saying whenever somebody thinks outside of the box or the paradigm, they get chastised as crazy. And then we use that anecdote, those type of anecdotes, and that type of rhetoric to dismiss that person in its entirety. So now when you see Kyrie making a choice he's making today to just not not take the drug, you see people bringing up rhetoric like that. Oh, no wonder he doesn't take the drug because he's a flat earther. How does that even correlate? Those are two uh, separate instances in which you formulate deductions totally outside of the realm from one another. His deduction on whether or not he should take that thing has nothing to do with his belief on the earth's shape. But however, we have a lot of bots, a lot of uh, human program subjects who don't use deduction. So if you don't use deduction and you just use rhetoric, you might listen and buy into what Nick Wright is going to tell you on TV. You might feed into Stephen A. when he gets paid millions to adhere to his boss's ideology. And dare I say, somebody like Kyrie, who is let's go back the past year and a half during the bubble when like you guys would concede that COVID was something for us to worry about, right? But then the NBA proposes the bubble, try to get this shit back going. Now, what is this for? You look at the NBA and you deduce. This is why I ask you niggas what you stand for. Because if you don't stand for things like free will or citizens' rights or life, then opening up the bubble might be a priority to you to get back to watching sports, even though there's a quote unquote pandemic outside. So we taking it back to Kyrie when he said, hey, I don't think we should be playing. We all need to sit out this shit. This shit is chaotic. In this time in the world, this detrimental moment in time for the collective world, mind you, that was a time of not just the Rona and people going frantic. That was also the time of George Floyd. So you have total calamity going on outside. And what our system decided to do was to get the sports back immediately. You guys remember essential from non-essential? If you were non-essential, hey, stay your ass in the house, follow the protocols. But if you were essential, which to me, if you're essential, the grocery store workers, the everybody in the medical field, other entities who service the public, those people would be essential at this time. Watching niggas play basketball ain't that essential. So I'll say this to say, going back, Kyrie, he said, "Man, let's boycott." They hated that. They hated that. Strip this money. Strip the system's money. His words had the potential and the power to strip the system's money. So once he said that, chastised by your favorite puppet, Stephen A., or the other puppets, Nick Wright, Jason Whitlock, whoever you want to name, It's all different faces, same representation, essentially. Salute, Lewis Sports Network. Shout out to you. Shout out to Lewis Sports, always grinding, always working, always uh, taking from the league the meat and potatoes. He's a dissector of the game, somebody who uses his discernment to judge the game and not the fluff around the game. You feel me? The makeup shit. So shout out to him. But then you take those thoughts of let's not play this season. Then Kyrie revamps. You know what? Let's start a black league. That's when shit got really fiery. That's when Stephen A put on his best groggy Kyrie he's going wild. He's just like it was just the most far-fetched. It couldn't happen. And that's the state of being in which we exist at now. Black ownership, economic gain, economic advantage in minority communities is so obsolete that most people don't even think it can be a reality. So when Kyrie proposes this, again, out the box thinker, out the box being crazy to y'all, dumb to y'all, when he proposes it, you guys can't even see it. How? No way. What a league? What? How are we gonna do that? First, you have to think it, motherfucker. So, and this is when you see all the players in the league, and then they have their meeting, their coalition, and their figureheads, Browns of the world, or whoever is in those pristine positions to have a voice and an input to say things when it comes to this. Hey, shut that shit down immediately. Immediately. More Kyrie demonizing. And all this shit came way after that the flat earth claim is just one of the claims just that he has on his own deduction, not pertaining to the collective. But these claims during a pandemic and during a riot in 50 states protesting, we don't need basketball. Is that illogical? Is it completely illogical to say, you know what? We don't have proper, adequate ownership in this league. Therefore, let's divvy up our dollars and invest in a league to where we do have proper ownership. And you have Kyrie doing things like paying for George Floyd's house or the family, helping Native Indigenous people in North Dakota. As we know, the pipeline was infiltrated by government authorities, essentially native land being railroaded. You feel me? Houses being destructed, communities being destroyed, Native Indigenous communities by a capitalistic system. Kyrie put money into that system, into the pipeline, North Dakota pipeline. Never talk about it. Never talk about it. He gave solar power to disadvantaged, underprivileged environments, quote unquote, third world nations. I don't like to call them third world because I think we all have some form of incompetence, whether that's economically or psychologically. We may be plentiful in resources in America, but we're crazy. The anxiety, the depression, the suicide rate is through the roof in America. So I don't take to the third world notion because you got people who live in abundance and happiness and richness with their entanglements with less. Those are the people Kyrie are given to. Mind you, the same system might be responsible for that third world nation's lack of resources. So you just start connecting all the dots, and then you realize, okay, he's clearly being targeted. Maybe not clearly if you use two eyes. If you found a way to use three eyes, then it's evident as ever that no matter what he says or what he does, they're going to flip it into a narrative to portray him as some sort of fool. Why? Because most people don't think. And because most people don't think, they're going to regard to these news outlets, these sources that are telling you he's wacko. He's passing up so much. That's what they like to use to y'all because they've conditioned y'all to be morally empathetic to material things, money, uh, a decadent type lifestyle. This is how we were conditioned. So because they've conditioned you as such, when Kyrie says something like, "Okay, I might not play this year because I'm standing on my moral grounds and my principles of just I don't want unnatural, synthetic, uh, synthetic chemicals in my body." What does the media say? What do they put Stephen A. up there to tell you? He's passing up millions of dollars. He's passing because y'all worship money. They've taught you guys to worship the dollar so much that shit, with that kind of money, you feel me? Most people think like this. With this kind of money, I could do anything. Why would I would never pass up that much money. Some of y'all are literally sacrifice your family. Sacrifice a member in your family for $10 million, $20 million. So something like getting a drug put in you, that ain't nothing. I'll do that for some of you niggas will do that for $100. And as they're propagating too, you done seen Krispy Kreme. If you get the shot, I done seen this. It's the sickest shit I ever seen. If you get the shot, we'll expunge your record. What? If you get the dose, we'll expunge your record. You guys have to do deduction again. Is this really for health? If they are willing to expunge former felons' records, now this is where deduction comes in. You know how historically we treat felons. So if you're willing to give to felons for this drug, is that solely for the well-being of the collective? All the prisoners are getting forced to get it, unfortunately. Not unfortunately because of my belief of what that thing is, but unfortunately because you're reduced to not having the choice. Remember, let's stay on a subject. The choice, the right to really, anybody out there who took it, I'm not against you, bro. Sis, you watch, anybody out there that took it, I'm not against you, but respectfully, I don't have to do what you do. I don't have to take those mechanisms. I may have acquired a different level of understanding, no better or worse, just a different level of understanding that assumes that I'll be good without it. Like Ice Cube said, I'm a man without it. I'm a man without it. You feel me? As I said, my morning routine or afternoon now, the dragon fruit sea moss smoothie, some people might be regarding to these mechanisms for healing. So, and then you have that, right? You have the ridicule for his choice and the implementations all around the world that for people who are choosing this is what they're doing. If you're choosing to not do that, we're going to take as much as we can. We're going to regulate your environment. We're going to regulate whether or not you can leave your environment through the air. We're going to regulate your workspace. We're going to religious exemptions, philosophical exemptions. We're not hearing that. Some companies literally just threw that out the window. So you have a collective force on a certain demographic of people who ain't never even said, who have never even gave vehement disdain for the other side. But soon as they say, you know what, it's not for me, oh, he's he's this, he's Jonathan Isaac eloquently said the realest shit ever in regards to this subject. And then when you watch the video and you just view the comments below, that's when you see the robotic nature of humanity. Some of them niggas ain't real for sure. I know some of these niggas are literal bots, like computers, somebody's programmed to just be a deflector to these type of people. But then you have actual human beings with this face, not this, ain't nobody got this face, you feel me, except me. But human beings with a human form. Oh man, he's crazy. He's an idiot. Why would he? Anybody who's smart would what? And then while he's getting chastised, what you guys might not be aware of, while he's getting lynched through the media, NYPD and the fire department in New York have over half of their staff hasn't taken the dose either. Half of NYPD, more than half of NYPD, has not taken it. Just the truth. A lot of people like to get mad at people for the truth now. Like when I say, okay, there has been, I think his name is Brian Goodwin of the Atlanta Hawks. He said right after he did it, he got blood clots. His season was over. And it jeopardized his potential to play basketball again. These are the facts. These is not Damian concluding anything. Conclusion is something you do from the facts. When niggas is just telling you the facts, you just gotta sit there and listen. So you can formulate a conclusion based on the evidence and the facts. Brian Goodwin, I believe that's his name. Atlanta Hawks, I think big man. One of the Atlanta Hawks big man. Now he concluded because he took it. He took it firsthand and felt the effects firsthand right after and said, oh, yeah, no, yeah, before that, I was good. After that. So for my conclusion, okay, I'm not going to run with his conclusion, but I am going to take that truth that he had in regards to his circumstance, and I'm going to formulate my conclusion. Hey, maybe that thing can cause potential adverse effects based on the evidence. NBA told him, what did they tell him? According to him, again, the fact is what he said, not whether or not what he said was viable. According to him, they told him, keep it under wraps. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody that you got that and this happened. You just out for the season. It's fucked up. Then it makes you ask, who is this for? Because you got the NYPD, and you seen Joe Biden throughout the presidential election, Donald Trump. They not really forcefully masked up. They're acting as if they are immune to what's going on around. You see these people in political seats running around, motherfucking mic be on. They don't even know the mic is on. They talking about, oh, I'm not getting that shit. So you got people in higher economic spaces who don't have to go through the construct of mandates the way we do. When I say we, I'm not saying just black people. I'm talking about us citizens. This whole pandemic thing has inflicted the people. Dave Chappelle said in his stand-up, he said, I'm rich. This is nigga said, people gotta pay attention. The nigga literally said, he said, I'm rich. First off, I'm rich and famous. Let me let y'all niggas know that. So second off, I empathize for all of you guys, and I hope you guys are okay. Now, Why would he say he's rich and famous before he says he hopes the people are okay? Because as a rich and famous motherfucker, he's not going through this reality of the pandemic. For a rich motherfucker, he's not going through this reality of the pandemic to where you might have to distance and wear a mask everywhere you go. I guarantee in his reality, in his realm, around that economic stature that he's around, ain't none of them niggas doing what we were mandated to do. So you just have to ask, who is this for? And if the rich are exempt, if the rich ain't taking it, you associate rich with resourceful. You can associate resources with information and knowledge at a different spectrum and level. Not all rich people are going to be more knowledgeable, but you goddamn sure that they have more resources to be knowledgeable, more knowledgeable. So they not doing it, but we are. Law enforcement not doing it, but we are. Everybody in the NBA got to do it. Do Mark Cuban got to do it? Do the owners got to do it? I'll bet you a pretty penny the owners ain't got to do shit. I'm the owner. I make the rules. I don't follow them. Negro. That's how I feel like these niggas be saying to us. Hey, bruh, you niggas are pawns. So yes, we don't have to take that. We don't have to. We're above that. Literally, they show us this shit consistently. How could you dare? How could you have the audacity to put these leagues back at a time where you claim we're dying at a high capacity because of this entity? How could you dare even risk that? It's a cold game, man. But I'm rambling, as usual. I really came here to just build my consistency when it comes to live. And usually what I really want to do is create extensive dialogue. Yeah, I ramble, I go on my tangents, I talk my shit. But for the community of people that be in here, whenever y'all in here, whatever's on your mind, whatever opinions you got, hey, throw them in the pool of meeting. That helps expand my mind and takes my shit somewhere else. You feel me? So, no, yeah, it's a community of dialogue. It's just the subject at hand right now is shit, the nature of life around us. We're all going through this reality to where we will lynch Kyrie Irving through media depictions while acting like law enforcement isn't doing the same thing Kyrie Irving is doing. While acting like rich elitists aren't doing the same thing Kyrie Irving is doing. It's analogous though, like Jerry Jones get caught fucking with prostitutes, shit like that. He ain't gonna get in trouble. But let that be Des Bryant caught fucking with prostitutes. Oh, you might get kicked out of the league. You're definitely getting scrutinized by the media. I mean, you don't have the power to tell the media not to do that. Jerry Jones, I got power. It's a sad game, man. It's a sad game. Shabu, what up? Salute to you. Just drinking my smoothie. Got my joint locked and loaded. Just when shit get thick, that's when I like this motherfucker. Shit get thick in dialogue and got me going to the point where I might even be sweating out the Then I like my shit. I like my flame, but right now we're just cooling it. Feel me? NBA, hey. I always love basketball. So when the Knicks play and Derrick Rose is in attendance and I get to watch Derrick Rose, I'm going to tune in. Maybe illegally. Just for the sake of my own moral compass. I don't want to put dollars in you niggas' pockets, and I don't agree with you guys ethically. But yeah, my eyes will be channeled in on some of these energies that I like. Rose or Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving. Uh, uh, Hopefully, if he gets to come back, you feel me, in this league. But yeah, So with that being said, opening days tomorrow. Opening days tomorrow. On a lighter note, opening days tomorrow. You got the Lakers versus the Warriors. I don't know if Clay is playing. But if he did, it would be an intriguing game. You got Brooklyn versus Milwaukee. And Kyrie ain't playing. So I think it'll be an even, nice matchup. Milwaukee seems to fare well when somebody on Brooklyn is hurt or somebody on Brooklyn is out. And then that'll take you to the other realm of conspiracy. But we ain't gonna do all that. So I mean, it's bittersweet for me. I do like the game of basketball. I do want to see some of these entities shine. I want to see Lonzo Ball in Chicago, given that opportunity. I want to see the Knicks and how they look this year. I want to see Russell Westbrook with LeBron, even though extrapolations say both of them are ball dominant. Both of them are forced. Well, LeBron's not forceful. Let me take that back. Both of them are ball dominant. Russell Westbrook is a forceful ball dominant player. So it'll be interesting to see how these mechanics relay to us when we watch it. But nonetheless, there's some things going on in the league. I for one though, I've never been one good with mandatory inflictions. And everybody ain't like that. Like you think about people who join the army or the Navy or whatever it is, where literally you have no say. But I want to sit your ass down. Tell a nigga they can't pee. So you have some people who might be hardwired to not ask why, to follow lock and step the orders of a construct. So shit, some people, yes sir, yes sir. And that's fine, it's respect. I understand the contrast in life. Because I exist, the polar opposite of me is going to exist. That's what I believe the universe is about in regards to balance. It ain't gonna have everybody like me. You feel me? It wouldn't even make for a distinctive individual if everybody was like me. So you feel me? As there is me, there's the guy who, yes sir, okay, respect. However, everybody ain't gotta be like that. Some people are gonna ask questions. Some people are gonna do research outside from what they see every day. Cause look, y'all gotta pay attention to the Matrix. Pay attention to the Matrix. They got shows now. They're emphasizing the shot. I watch You. Yeah, anybody seen You? Serial killer. Mind you, none of that shit provocative to the system. They'll show you killing all day killing, all day murder, some rape. They show all that type of shit. But they was out here literally dissing people who decided not to take. They brought up measles. They brought back measles to make their point. Cold game. But nonetheless, just quick thoughts. 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Just want to drink my smoothie and talk to my YouTubers real quick. So much love to everybody out there. The NBA season is underway. Let me know your thoughts and your comments. Not too excited, not too enthused, even though I am excited to see certain individuals in that matrix. But it's a matrix nonetheless, man. It's your boy Dame, man. Five High.